Hey guys! In today's video I'm going to talk about Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I bought it like a year ago on Beauty Bay on Black Friday, and this is my first high-end eyeshadow palette. And actually I have only one high-end eyeshadow palette, and this is Modern Renaissance. This is how the box looks like outside. And let's open this up. And this is how it looks. It's velvet packaging. It's cruelty free. And this is how it looks inside. I was wondering between Modern Renaissance and Soft Glam, but Modern Renaissance was discounted more, so I decided to buy Modern Renaissance. But actually Soft Glam has similar colors, but more neutral, so I decided also to buy Modern Renaissance. And yeah, so we have also here double-sided brush with Anastasia logo, or an Anastasia. This side is for blending and this side is for applying shadows. Doing my looks, I used this side mostly. So yeah, I created 8 looks with this palette, and I will show you each of them, and I will tell you what I used to create them. I want to make a video when I show you my pattern, how to do cut crease and how I do spotlight eye. But it will be in separate videos, so stay tuned. And now let's move on to those looks. So for my first look, I first draw a shape with concealer, with lighter concealer, where my shimmer shade should be. So it means that I cut my crease and I applied Primavera, this beautiful gold shimmer, on this wet concealer. And then I blended Love Letter, this shade right here, at the top of it. Then I used red ochre, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I used this shade on my outer corner, and I blended this with Love Letter on the outer corner. Then on the lower lash line I also used red ochre, I don't know, and I blended it on the entire lower lash line. And last thing is that in the inner corner I used Vermeer, this beautiful light shimmer shade. And this is my first look.
I go anywhere with you, 'cause you fill my mind, or you fill my mind. We could build a dream, start up something new, let the old be dead, let the shadows leave my head. When the world is on your shoulders and you feel like falling over, just come a little closer. I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you, 'cause when we are together, I know you feel the tension.
So with the next look, I also cut my crease first and I applied the same shade Primavera on the wet concealer. Then I blended burnt orange on the top And on the outer corner I added Relgar, this dark orange shade, dark coral I should say, this shade. And on the lower lash line I blended closer to the outer corner Relgar and also burnt orange closer to the inner corner. And on the inner corner I used Vermeer. And this is the second look.
I go anywhere, anywhere with you, 'cause you fill my mind, or you fill my mind. We could build a dream, start up something new. Let the old be dead, let the shadows leave my head. When the world is on your shoulders and you feel like falling over, just come a little closer.
So my third look is a spotlight eye. And first step is to cut my crease, but not to the certain point that like in my cut crease scheme, but my entire lid. I covered with lighter concealer. And then I applied on this wet concealer the shade Antique Bronze, which is a kinda satin shimmer brown shade. And then I applied it in the inner corner and outer corner, and I left the center empty with no shade. Then I blended Warm Taupe at the top, but then I decided to also blend Cyprus Amber into it, because Warm Taupe was too light. Then I applied Primavera in the center of the lid, and then I decided to cover Antique Bronze with Cyprus Amber. And as you can see, when I added Cyprus Amber to Antique Bronze, it is different than the top when I blended Warm Taupe with Cyprus Amber. And on the lower lash line I blended only Cyprus Amber, and in the inner corner I used Vermeer. And this is the third look.
The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young. We do it on repeat.
Now in the fourth look it's time to do some neutral. So I cut my crease and I added Vermeer on the wet concealer. Then on the top I blended Golden Ochre. Never mind, I don't know how to read it, but I blended this shade on the top. In the outer corner I blended Raw Sienna. In the lower lash line I also blended Raw Sienna. And in the inner corner I applied Primavera. And this is the fourth neutral look.
The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep?
Pack your bags, I got a one-way ticket to explore the world tonight. I want
cut my crease, of course, and I applied on the wet concealer shade Primavera. Of course, the most beautiful gold shade in this palette. And on the top I blended Bon Fresco, and in the outer corner I used Burnt Orange. I thought that Burnt Orange and Bon Fresco will look good with each other, because I tried this combination before with other palette and it was nice. Then on the lower lash line I blended Bon Fresco with Burnt Orange. And in the inner corner I of course used Vermeer.
I go anywhere, anywhere with you, 'cause you fill my mind, or you fill my mind. We could build a dream, start up something new. Let the old be dead, let the shadows leave my head. When the world is on your shoulders and you feel like falling over, just come a little closer. I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you, 'cause when we are together.
Pack your bags, I got a one-way ticket to explore the world tonight. I want you back, so come with me.
It's time to another spotlight eye. This time I cut my entire lid, of course, and I added in the inner corner and outer corner Venetian red. Then I blended Bon Fresco at the top, but then I applied Love Letter on Venetian red. I covered Venetian red with Love Letter. On the empty place in the center, I applied Primavera. Then on the lower lash line I blended Venetian red with Love Letter, the same which was up. And I added a little bit of antique bronze, like a little line with concealer, and then I added on concealer antique bronze. And then in the inner corner I used Vermeer.
The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me? We do it on repeat.
So in the next look I used Primavera as my shimmer shade. I blended Relgar on the top. In the outer corner I used Red Ochre and a little bit of Cyprus Amber. And in the inner corner I used Vermeer.
I go anywhere, anywhere with you, 'cause you fill my mind, or you fill my mind. We could build a dream, start up something new. Let the old be dead, let the shadows leave my head. When the world is on your shoulders and you feel like falling over, just come a little closer. I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you.
And the last look is a little bit different. On the top I blended Cyprus Amber, and on the rest of the lid I added Warm Taupe, and I blended those two shades together. Then on the lower lash line I used Cypress Amber and Warm Taupe, the same shades. And in the inner corner I used Vermeer. And that's all.
The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me?
So yeah, that's all for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked my eye looks with modern renaissance. You can subscribe if you want, and see you guys in my next video, probably about how I do my cut crease and spotlight eye. So yeah, bye guys.